roll the window down. If I fuck things up, just tell me now. I'm living in a blinded town, am I running out of time? Feel like a drug when I'm talking to you. Slow trip, trying to play it cool. Nothing to do, let's drive to the ocean. Get high, lay on the beach. White water running down my feet. Make love and repeat, I don't ever want to stay all night to see the sunrise. It's way too soon to be calling, baby. But it feels so right against the moonlight. Deep sea diving head first, don't save me. Is there something I can say to make you wanna stay with me? Is there something I can say to make you wanna stay with me? Oh, make you wanna stay with me. Is there something I can do to show my love for you?
Let me read my brother's super cap because I really appreciate it. Shout out to Grown Man Talking. Already became the sponsor of tonight's show with a total of $20. Thank you for helping us keep the lights on. Grown Man Talking. Shout out to GMT. Thank you, bro.
No captivity.
GMT say, my guy, no cap. It was a blessing having you on the show Sunday. Had some great feedback. Blessings. Thank you, bro, man. Hey,
No
just in
captivity.
case some of y'all don't know, I was on Grown Man Talking show last Sunday, and I had a blast, man. Shout out to Grown Man Talking, and shout out to his entire panel, all the ladies and all the gentlemen. I had a great show. I had a great time on his show. A lot of different opinions, very opinionated panel. Thank you for even giving me that warm embrace, GMT. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed to Grown Man Talking's channel yet, make sure y'all go subscribe to Grown Man Talking. It's an excellent brother, excellent channel.
GMT and Mingo.
Hey!
Hey, he should come on the panel. Like, he should definitely come on
Come
the
on
panel.
up here, sir. Come on up here. By the way, is this a love offering or is this
No,
indentured servitude?
that's my dog. Those are for minutes.
All love.
Those are definitely for minutes.
No, don't influence him. He can
No,
make
that's
his
my
decision.
partner. I got his vote by proxy. Ask him. You want me to call him?
What up, Grown Man Talking? I appreciate you. Let me see. Grown Man Talking. That's another show I watch. Y'all check out my man Grown Man Talking right there. If y'all can see that. That's the name of this channel. Very good channel. I watch it every day. That's I got the idea from about having a panel with more than one person on here. I saw him one day doing it. He can have women, interesting topics, what have you. So I appreciate you, Grown Man Talking.
What is going on? What is going on, YouTube? We are live. We are live. We are back in the building. And shout out to you. Could I get a round of applause? Here we go. We are in the building. What up, what up, what up? I love it. Y'all know Fridays is my favorite day. One, because I'm off on my regular job. And two, because I get to talk to y'all, my people. Shout out to the people that's in the building currently. If you are here, do me a favor and hit the like button. And also, don't forget to stay active in the comments. It's truly important, and I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Shout out to April, who is in the building. What up, April? If y'all don't know April, April and I partnered together to make this Meet to Marry thing grow. I appreciate you, April. Y'all need to tap into her channel. She does a dope show every Thursday. So make sure y'all tap into it. We're talking about great show, great topics, and she's giving the ladies some knowledge on how to get a man like me. Yeah, I said it. How to get a man like me. So shout out to you, April, for giving the ladies some knowledge on how to snag themselves a good man. Also, my guy Lo is in the building. What up, Lo? Great to have you in here. For those of y'all who don't know Lo, Lo featured on season 1 of Meet to Marry, and also he was on season 2 with his own episode of Meet to Marry. And when I tell you my boy is looking out for the team, he's looking out for the team. Lo, I really, really appreciate you, family. Thank you so much for being over here, as usual, supporting and helping out wherever you can. Those of y'all that's watching right now, do me a favor and make sure y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button for your boy. Likes are free. They cost absolutely nothing. And as y'all come into the building, make sure y'all give me a shout out. Let me know where you watching from. And also what y'all look forward to for today's topic. So y'all also the thumbnail, and I want to get active and I want to get into it. But y'all know how we do on a Friday, right? I got multiple topics for y'all because we got to address some things that's happening in the world right now. Some I agree with, some I don't, but we got to get into it. Shout out to my guy, Adrian, in the building. Happy Friday, family. Salute to you. All right, so let me know what's up. Let me know what's up. Say what's up in the chat. Let your boy know y'all are in the building. I know a lot of y'all are at work, pocket watching, but if you are, take your phone out your pocket for a second. Say what up to your boy. Let's get active. All right, hit the like button. So, I got a good one, right? This one I wanted to talk to the fellas. I wanted to talk to the fellas on this one. So I'm going to add this to the stage. And
Does a man feel like he has to sleep with a lot of women to feel like a man?
It's promoted. I mean, I remember when I lost my virginity, I was with my cousin. We were driving to the store. He says, hey, I'm going to stop by my girlfriend's house. And I believe I was, 16 at the time. We go in the house and she has a little sister who was very...
So for the pocket watchers, right? Right now he's talking about basically, hey, my wife is in the building. My wife is in the building. He says, hey, Friday, it's Friday. Friday, yeah. She says, I know what that means. The newest episode of Meet to Marry is coming out to our channel members, and episodes dropping tomorrow. Thank you for that, hon. I really appreciate that. Make sure you guys are becoming channel members so that way you can have the exclusive opportunity to win these if I could get it right, these AirPods. Let me make myself a little bigger. So y'all can have the opportunity to win these AirPod Max Pros. Come a channel member and I got you. All you need to do is go on your IG, hashtag Meet to Marry, right? That's it. And also at me so that way I know who to send it off to. Shout out to my wife for dropping the bomb. And April says, what's up, babe? So, all right, let's continue with the video. So, as my man is saying over here, right? Basically, he says he got laughed at for being a virgin. So he did this to prove he's a man. Y'all, the pressure is real. Now, this is something I really want to
very cute. So he goes in the room and he's having sex, and me and her little sister are talking. When they come out, we get in the car. My cousin's driving. He says, hey, did you have sex with her? I'm like, no. He says, did you kiss her? I'm like, no, I just met her. He was like, You a virgin? I'm like, I haven't had sex before. When we pull up into his house where all my uncles were, my cousins and my mother, he yelled out, "Hey, Jason's a virgin." The entire house erupted in laughter. So when I looked around at my mother, she was laughing. It made me angry because here it is. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I thought this was,
All right, let's continue.
I had to just have sex with a woman that I don't care about for me to be validated as a man. But that's the culture. That's like the initiation into manhood. As soon as I got back to Detroit, I called a friend who knew a girl who liked me, and I went over the house because I knew I could have sex with her real quick and I can get this stigma up off of me. I didn't even care about her. I had no emotions. I did it because this was what I was taught as a man. You're not a man if you're faithful to one woman, and you're not a man if you're a virgin. So that day I lost my virginity, my mindset shifted. All you can be is strong, provide, or be promiscuous. And this is your identity. We hide behind the suits, the cigars, the cars, the jewelry, the watches. Inside that home, there's a man depressed, on the edge, and possibly suicidal.
All right. Sorry about that, YouTube. So check it, right? I think this is a good topic. Shout out to my guy, Blockchain, in the building. My brother, salute is shout out to you. Blockchain, we are waiting for those reactions. So as y'all can see, he got his reaction channel active. So make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to my brother, please. All right, y'all. So I thought this was a good topic to talk about, right? Because a lot of men, we go through this. We go through this. It's more common as a young man to get pressured into, let's try to keep it YouTube friendly. So what word could I say besides the SEX word? Because yeah, I'm monetized and YouTube is starting to pay well. So I want to make sure I keep my money flowing. So yeah, I'm gonna be careful on what I say. All right. So we get pressured to get, intimate with women at a very young age. And here's one, relations. There we go. We're going to use the word relations. My man Blockchain says, get these likes up. Hit the like button, y'all, as y'all come in the door. So we get pressured into having relations early on. And it's usually the peer pressure comes from our, well, as said, peers, right? Our friends, because, I remember I was like 12. And the guys that I was around, the young fellas that I was around was having sex. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Like, and we're not even talking, I don't know to what degree, but all I know is they had little girls going down on these boys. It was crazy. It was crazy. And I was literally 11 years old when I started hearing about it. So the pressure for me felt like I was being left out, as if something was wrong with me. Queen Lala is in the building. What up, my sister? What up? Good to see you on a Friday. As my wife would say, Friday. So the peer pressure is real. So I remember with me, it was and this might sound crazy, and I'm not going to get too in detail with this, but I'm going to say by I was 13, it was a woman that was, older than I. We're just going to keep it there. That I got prompted to break that fast with, right? It was like, yo, you gotta go to that. FBA is in the building. What up, my brother? He said that's crazy. Never had pressure. It's supposed to be organic. Most guys were already having relations. What up, family? So yeah, no, I so think about this, FBA. Think about what I'm saying here. It's usually the pressure of the fact that they're doing it. You're not. It's usually the pressure of, because when I was growing up, it was the dark skin versus light skin. I know y'all remember that, right? So I was obviously the dark skinned kid. And back then, you had all the light skinned R&B singers that was out. So I ain't get no burn. And I used to just feel left out. I remember being called ugly by a girl because she literally said, I'm dark skinned. So that in return made me feel as if like, yo, I need, like, these girls don't like me, and why? And I'm watching them go off with the taller kids, the more athletic kids, and the lighter boys at the time. That made a turn when I was in high school. But when I was young and that age, which I had no business doing that, but the pressure was there. So by the time I hit 13, it was like, yo, listen, the opportunity presented itself and I took it. 13. 13. And it was pretty like, if I have to really look back at it, yeah, when it happened, my boys cheered me on. Literally, because that girl was known to, be the neighborhood 304. So I got praised by my friends for getting there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, snap. Blockchain, what? Yeesh. My God said 9. You know what I think of? Because my son right now is 7. I can't imagine him coming to me at 9 years old. Like, yo, this, what? I, this is getting kind of dark. I'm gonna leave that in the comment section. This is getting kind of dark. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what he's saying is real. Because in most cases, if you talk to a lot of boys, when they lose it, it's sometimes in a lot of cases to an older woman, an older girl, I should say. It's not usually a girl your age. It's usually a girl that's a bit older, who's been a little bit experienced. So she's just trying to be the one, be that one. So yeah, it happens. You know what I'm saying? He says, I think us dark-skinned brothers gotta work harder. I think sports was my introduction into really dating women, running track, playing baseball. 17 on 17. Okay. And he said she was 16. All right. Wow. Wow. It's still wow. 9 and 17. He said, and that's normal stuff. It's not normal, man. It's not normal. 17. All right. Look. So that peer pressure, that pressure to do it is real. It was real. He said I was a big 9. So, well, you tall now, so I could imagine. So yeah, man, and we go through it. We get that pressure. We get that pressure to have relations, as my girl April says, very early on in the game. World class. Salute, family. Shout out to yo. So I remember that. And it's like I said, back in the days, it was cheered on. You're cheered on for being a boy at whatever age and being able to have relations. But it's not really a good thing. When we start thinking about it, right? And, does men sleeping with women affect us in the same way as it does a woman sleeping with a certain amount of men? No, I don't believe it does. But do I believe it has an effect on us? 1,000%, just not in the same way. And what happens is, what I realized is, when I was young, it created a certain appetite in me, right? Because y'all know, fellas, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you have relations very early on in the game, it creates an appetite in you that is very hard to break. You don't want to break it, and neither are you encouraged to break that appetite. And then what happens is, in some cases, you end up having teenage pregnancies, right? Unwanted pregnancies, things you can't afford. So this guy who said that, now I don't even know who this is, right? But I'm just saying, I'm just speaking to what he's saying here. He's 100% right when it comes down to that pressure that boys feel. You know what I'm saying? April says, my nephew was 14, my nephew 14 showed my kid inappropriate images on his phone. I was heartbroken. I sent him packing. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. Said, by the way, your son was only 9. You know what I'm saying? Listen, those are windows that boys go through. And when you go through that kind of window and you're introduced to the female body to that degree, you're introduced to relations with women at an early age, it affects you. Like I said, it's not the same between men and women. 1,000%, it's not the same. But boys get affected in a different way. And what happens with us when we overexert ourselves at a very young age, there's so much into this topic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to be very careful for YouTube guidelines, but there's so much into this topic that, you know, it is sad that it is pushed at a young age. Do I agree that men, when you become a man, need to explore? And because, like I said, it is different with women. So, as a man, when you get older, should you explore your sexuality and go out there and deal with different women? I agree with that. And any woman in the comment section that want to fight me on it, let's fight. Men should go out there and explore different women when they become men. I don't believe a man at the age of 20, 21, 22 should settle down because you're not financially where you need to be. And it takes us to where we hit our 30, 35 to build trust in the workplace, to build trust amongst other men in order for us to be able to provide for a family. Because at that point, you should start making more money. The bad thing is when you're 20, 21 and y'all throwing baby showers and you broke. So you know you're going to struggle to take care of that kid. You know it's going to be a hard time. Black men love to be involved. We are involved with our kids. So yeah, it becomes a problem when you can't afford to take care of your kids. That creates a level of stress I don't want no one to deal with. And unfortunately, I went through that. I'm just giving y'all the real today. I went through that, right? I was a young teenage dad that had to drop out of school to try to provide for a woman that, guess what, left me because she wanted to explore, whatever that means. But nonetheless, it happens to a lot of young men. And this is why I try to warn young men on protecting your seed. Be careful with the women you sleep with. When you're young, it's not the time to get a woman pregnant. It's not the time to start a family. When you're young, it's the time for you to build yourself. Get to understand women, understand who women are and what they're about, and then build yourself up off of that. And by the time you hit 30, 35, start focusing on a family. You got time, fellas. You got time. So there's no point in rushing it at such a young age because the disrespect is real when you can't afford a family. The disrespect is real. I'm going to say that again. The disrespect is real when you can't afford a family. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. TDP is in the building. What up, family? I got my first piece of, oh my God. All right. Just going to leave that right there. We're going to leave that one in the comment section. So that's what I wanted to talk about with this. I don't want to extend on it for super long. You know, I got a few topics that I wanted to get into before we start to have a little bit of fun with Pop the Balloon and that princess treatment. Let's talk about it. So the next one, have y'all seen this? Have y'all seen the teacher in the school that got attacked and assaulted by whatchamacallit? She got attacked and assaulted by, got attacked and assaulted by some young boys. Now, let's talk about fatherless behavior.
Get your ass one, bro.
So let's pause that right there. I pray that they press charges on those young boys to the fullest. To the fullest. To the fullest. What could have happened, right, in your school that would have made you feel as if it's okay? You see, this is what we call fatherless behavior. This is what we call fatherless behavior. And I said this before, and I swear I got toe up on IG. I swear I got toe up on IG for saying that the most dangerous man walking the planet is an emotional man. Now, people wanted to kind of take that out of context. Oh, it's good for men to have emotions. I'm not saying that it's not like men don't have emotions. It's common sense. You know what I'm saying? I said an emotional man, a man that can't control his emotions. We're talking about emotional. Hold up, my phone's ringing. Jesus Christ, sorry about that. We're talking about emotions, right? We're talking about an emotional man, a man that can't control himself. That's a dangerous man. He's a menace to society. What do you think these young boys, right? I'm going to play this with no sound. But what do you think these young boys are going to grow up and actually become? What do you think? Outstanding citizens? They already got a record at what? These kids is like 14, 15? Look, I see about 10, roughly 10 boys. And those that are not swinging on the teacher are laughing at the teacher. They're laughing at the teacher. It's a joke. This is an old man. Could you imagine growing to his big age and getting assaulted by a bunch of kids? Could you imagine that? My man was spitting some bars after that. But could you imagine that? Growing his age and being assaulted by some kids at your job, which you probably did your best to make sure that you mentored, you gave your all to, and here you go getting beat up in school. The security guard couldn't even hold them back correctly because it was too much of them. I feel that teacher ought to swung on them too. Am I wrong? Chat, am I wrong? Let me know, am I wrong? Did the teacher exaggerate by swinging back? Am I wrong? Or did he do what was just? Let me know in the chat. Because this is off the chain. Y'all kids need to get whooped. They should not be in school acting like this. And this is, like I said, fatherless behavior. Where's the men? Do you think that a young boy would act like that if he knew that he had a father at home? If his father was at home and he knew he had to face the consequences of a real man, nothing else but a real man. If he had to face those consequences, do you think any of those kids would act like that and record it? It's the problem, right? It's the problem. When these fatherless boys are out here running amok, destroying, they're menaces to society. I'm going to call it what it is. They're menaces to society. There was a story I was talking about the other day to one of my friends. I don't know if y'all remember, this was like about a year and a half ago. There was a group of 16-year-olds, 16, 15, around that age bracket. And they was outside at 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock in the morning. Why would the parents have them outside at 1 o'clock in the morning? I don't know. 1 o'clock in the morning, these kids was walking the street. So what ended up happening was there was an old man. The man was like 70-something years old. He was just minding his business. They dared each other to grab a cone and beat the old man with a cone. Well, they hit the man with the cone, a traffic cone. You know those cones, traffic cone, and actually took his life. They deleted the man. They deleted the man for no reason. He didn't bother them. He was just walking the street, minding his business, and got taken out by a group of teenagers. Where's the juice? You're right. You're right. These YNs is different. I'm using the word YNs now. I just learned what it meant last week. These YNs is different. They different. Fathers, and I'm not talking to black men in particular, because I know black men are highly involved, and I want to help break that narrative that the black man is not involved with his children, because it's not true. Statistics and data beat that. You know what I'm saying? They beat that. These YBs. Yo. All right. Yo, blockchain is off the chain. So I'm saying. So I'm not gonna spit the narrative, oh, black men stay in your kids' lives. But to those of y'all that are young ladies, please start picking better men to have children with. That's where the problem lies. If you pick a bum and he gives you bum results, don't be mad if your son ends up in school doing this to his teacher. Don't be mad if that teacher chooses to retaliate on your son. I'm trying to keep myself as YouTube friendly as possible, but I can tell you this. I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do if it was me and a whole group of young kids started beating on me like this. Yo, that's scary. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? I'm not, oh, here you go. You said, yeah, I don't blame the platform. Oh my God. Yo, she is something else. Something else. Good to see you over here. You know why don't you come up here, Mel, and let's have the conversation. Every time I say that, she gonna fall back. Watch. I love it though. I love you, Mel. Shout out to you. All right. But that's what I'm saying though. That's what I'm saying though, right? When you got these young boys running amok, what happens? This is what happens. So yeah, we could say father stand in your children's life all day long. But, oh, hold up, Mel, I got to ask you something. So I'm going to call you after the show. Because I was watching your show the other day, and you said something, and I got some questions for you. But anyways, so let's choose better fathers to bring kids in this world with. Because if your children had a healthy fear of the men in their lives, they would not do this. One big thing is I remember myself. I remember this. One fear I had was my dad. I was not scared of my mom. When I became like 13, 14, that fear of my mom disappeared. I didn't care what my mom had to say. She couldn't stop me because the mindset was once I got taller than her, you can't beat me. I mean, I'm being dead honest with y'all. I remember my mom hit me with a belt one time and I grabbed that belt so fast, threw the belt. What you gonna do? At this point, I towered over my mom, right? But my dad was a different story. My dad was 6'4". So yeah, when he came, there was a fear. There was a point where I got to the point where, yeah, I thought I was a little gangster. So my father couldn't even really hold me. But best believe when he walked in the room, my heart started thumping like, oh, he could probably end my life right now. if I step to my dad, it's gonna be different than me talking back to my mom. Yo, Val, what up, man? What is good? What up? What up? It's gonna be a lot different than me stepping up to my mom on some like, yo, what we doing? What we doing? So that's why fathers are so important. I always tell women, right? When you hear women on these freaking podcasts and all that talking about I don't need a man, I always try to say like this. You might not need a man, but your sons do. Your daughters do. You know? But your son in particular, because no one could teach him how to be a man but a man. So you might not need me. Yeah, you could go buy everything you want and you could rent a man. But your sons, you can't rent a dad. You can't bring men in and out of your kid's life and expect them to have balance. You create chaos. You create what's happening in MLK High right now, where a teacher gets beat up. And I heard they did press charges on those boys. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. I hope these young boys do jail time. I ain't even gonna hold you. I hope they do jail time. Because if they don't, it doesn't stop in the school with the teacher. Next thing you know, it'll be your grandmother walking in the street and she'll get assaulted. Next thing you know, it'll be your sister walking in the street, she'll get assaulted. It'll be your son walking in the street, he'll get assaulted. And jail is not always the best solution. I'm not saying that. I understand that these prisons have problems as well, right? But they don't need to be on the street. They need a timeout, a real timeout. A real timeout. So, all right. So I talked to the fellas, right? Talk to the fellas already. Let's talk to the ladies now. Y'all ready for the next one? Oh,
the table, I just want to know what benefit would I get for being a stepfather? Would a man be wrong for asking a woman that?
I think it's a loaded question because why are you asking me that? I feel like as a man, you should know what if you're coming into a relationship where there's children involved, I don't think that's an appropriate question to ask in terms of what's the benefit that I get for being a stepfather to your children. Like, that doesn't even sound right to me.
No?
Because I'm going to look at you like you're crazy.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you know that I have children, you should already start programming your mind to think, okay, I'm going to be around her children.
Okay.
My question is, why should I want you around? What benefits do we get from having you around? So that's what I would need to know. Like, what are my children going to see in you? What are my children going to learn from you? Okay. Those are the questions. So if you're saying what benefit do you have from being a stepfather to my children, I'm going to ask you, why are you even asking that question?
Okay.
Yo, sometimes these women are crazy. The way that they think is crazy. It's not, all right, listen, we all know the question of what you bring to the table is a internet question. It's a stupid question. No one asks it in real life, right? But what we do expect and ask in real life is what you show me. What you show me, what you do. I'm paying attention to you. Fellas, I really hope y'all are not asking women what they bring to the table or what benefits do your kids have to bring to the table. You should already know. So, fellas, weigh out your options. If you want to deal, I'm not knocking if you want to deal with a woman with a child. I'm asking you, and what I'm trying to tell you is weigh out your options. Dealing with a woman with a child, you have to know, in a lot of cases, it's a thankless job. It's a thankless job. You know what I'm saying? So you should already know what you're getting into. It's either you love the woman that you're dealing with and she has children, and then you have to know if this is who I love and this is who I'm with, this comes with this, I'll have to deal with that. And if we don't work out, the likelihood is I probably won't have access to the kids no more. I'll probably, everything that we built, I'll lose it. There's a lot that's going to come with it. But if you know that this woman has certain morals that she believes in, and she's not a city girl, and she doesn't practice and believe in hot girl summers, you probably got a good woman. Got a kid, and let's say the kid was out of a marriage and it didn't work. There's nothing wrong with that. Deal with it. Understand what you're getting into. That's all I'm saying. Know which way you're walking. But for this woman here, right? For this woman here to say it's not realistic for a man to have an expectation on benefits, because like you say, we know you shouldn't say it, but the expectation should be thought of how is this going to benefit me? Everything in life is a barter. Everything in life is a barter. If I'm dealing with you, I expect something from you. And it should be that way. And no one should be shamed. Women do it. Men have the right to do that as well. It's a barter system. So if I, in my mind, will have to weigh out, if I deal with this woman, what am I going to give, right? I'm giving you my time. If you have children, I'm giving you my resources. If I marry you, I'm going to also have to give time and resources to your children, right? I have to protect. If somebody, we want to put these kids in a good school, so then now I have to make sure I'm making more of a sacrifice to make more money to provide for you and those children at a higher degree than it would be if it was just me and my wife. So yeah, there's a lot that men have to weigh out, and there's a lot that men should weigh out. My guy, Matt, with the $2 super chat, says, what up, GMT? Salute, salute. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? I hate the prize conversation, so we're not gonna talk about that. But what we're gonna talk, what we're addressing right now is something straightforward as men. Value yourself enough to understand that when you deal with a woman, you have to weigh out your options. The expectations should always look to you as if, what is this woman and her children? Because it should be like that even if the woman don't have kids, right? You should weigh out, what is she going to offer you more than just relations, as my girl April says. More than just relations. What is she going to offer you? Women, you should do the same thing. What is this man going to offer me for my needs as a woman? But what this woman is saying is unrealistic. Let's listen to it one more time.
I'm not saying that it's off the table. I just want to know, what benefit would I get for being a stepfather? Would a man be wrong for asking a woman that?
I think it's a loaded question, because why are you asking me that? I feel like as a man, you should know what your...
Hold up, Mel. Hold up, Mel. Hold up, Mel. In most cases, not all, most cases, right? And I could attest to this. The kids live with who? Mama. If you don't have baby mama drama, you're good. Now, when it comes down to maybe every other weekend, maybe once a month, whatever it is, whatever the arrangement is between the kid and the mother, right? You're not really doing it to the extent as if I have to live with you and take care and provide for your children. It's different. And I think we need to live in reality and know that it's different. And it's okay that it's different. There's nothing wrong with that. Women have a greater responsibility to children in most instances than men, because the way the laws are, even if I had to fight for my kids, I'll literally have to fight for my kids in court. They're not going to just say, hey, you're the father, you're the best option. No. Usually in most states, the parental rights instantly goes to the mom the moment a divorce happens or a breakup. And if the father wants the child, the father has to fight for the child. So yeah, now you dealing with another man. That man has to come into the picture, and he has to say to himself, I have all of this stuff to weigh out. On top of that, you could date a man today, and he's not going to expect you to provide financially for his children. Am I right or wrong? How many men you know that y'all date that turn around and say, yo, listen, I need you to weekly make sure my kids are eating every day. I need you to make sure that these kids are in the best school. My kid, even though they're with the mom, I need you to help me pay for that. I can guarantee you that no woman listening now or on the replay would ever say that. That's been their reality. But every man that's dated a woman with a child can say that. It's different. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with the differences. It's understanding that differences are differences, and the world is what it is. It's set up the way that it is for a reason. And men, we have to live in reality. So yeah, for this woman to sit here and say that men should not have an expectation of what benefits it has for him is insane. Women, you should have expectations as well. I said that. Of what benefits a man, even with a man with a child, has to offer you. Does he have baby mama drama? Is he financially able to provide for you? And if you were to have a kid, for that kid, is he stable? Is he working on himself daily? Those are things that you have to work out. Because yeah, if you're dealing with a man and he has a child, his finances need to go to his child as well. So you have to factor in, if he's not making that much money, he probably is not going to be able to do it all for you. He's probably not going to be able to do it all for you. We comparing men roles to women roles because you now was the one in the comment that said something about men having children as well. And it's two different things. That's all it is. That's all that it is. She says, why do we compare men's roles to women's roles? She says, it wouldn't be a woman's job to do any of those things, right? Why do we lose the we need community energy when it comes to this topics like this? You need a community. We know it. But the problem is that to have a community, you have to have families. To have a community, you have to be together. To have a community, it should honestly be husband, wife, children, natural born families. But we cause chaos when we don't have that. So then now we're just dating, right? So we're with each other, we're having children, we're dating. We don't have any guidance, no structure, no nothing. Just a bunch of people clapping cheeks, having fun, making babies, and then expecting someone else to take care of it. So this is what happens when you have these topics, when you cause confusion. It's confusion and chaos. This is not, and I'm sorry, y'all, I'm turning into Pastor Mingo, right? Pastor GMT. This is what happens when God has left the building. When you take the natural order of things out of society, right? Because let's keep it a buck. I know some of y'all feel a way about the Bible. Some people feel as if the Bible was meant to control people. There's some of y'all that think the Bible was meant to keep the woman down, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you think, you think. But let's not keep it real that the Bible had very clear instructions on how men and women are supposed to live. Very clear instructions. And the black community, we happen to be the biggest Christians out there that don't follow anything in the Bible more than when it suits us. We manipulate the Bible to do the foolery that we want to do, and then turn around and say, oh, well, you can't judge me because only God could judge me. Let's keep it a buck. So when you lose that, you lose community. When you lose God, you lose families, you separate the woman from the man. These are the topics you have. These are the topics, like this, what we're talking about right now. The moment the men left the house in large numbers, here we are. Here we are. What up, DP is in the building. He says, amen. You know what I'm saying? You listening to Pastor GMT on a Friday. I'm going to start doing this on a Sunday so that way I can really get the word out. So maybe y'all want to hear that on a Sunday, right? Y'all go to church in the morning and then y'all come to Pastor GMT in the evening, right? We start doing that. But think about it, though. Think about what I'm saying. The moment you lose structure and guidance and family, you have topics like this. You can have a podcast on YouTube named I'm the Prize Media. Why are we even talking about who the prize? Why are we talking about baby daddies and baby mamas and stepdaddies and stepmamas? And this conversation is not so prevalent in the Asian community. This conversation is not so prevalent. It's prevalent in the white community because they crazy. They're crazy with it, along with us. But it's not so prevalent in the Middle Eastern communities. It's not so present in most Spanish culture communities. Maybe Puerto Rican, right? But for the most part, this baby mama, baby daddy, stepdaddy, this, that, and the third, it's not that prevalent. Yo, Mel, hold up. I'm going to drop the link for you, Mel. Stop washing your hair for a minute and come up. Yo, Mel, I'm going to drop the link. Hold up. I got you, Mel. I would love to talk to Mel. Mel says I got too much to say. Too tight. All right, hold on. All right, y'all. This is for Mel. Not for everybody because I want to get to pop the balloon. So this is for Mel. Mel, that's for you. Come on up. You ain't even got to turn your camera on. Keep your camera off. But when you lose that, when you lose family, you lose structure, you lose the man. Anytime you take the man away from family, you don't have a family anymore. You have a mother and a child, mother and children. You don't have family. And we had decades at this point of the destruction of the Black community, the destruction of everything that we were built on, the foundation of what Black people were built on. So yeah, now this is the biggest topic, baby mamas. You got men all over the internet. Don't date baby mamas. You got women on the internet mad that men are saying that. Then you got men talking about, I'm getting my passport, I'm leaving. You got red pill, you got blue pill, you got pink pill, you got all these damn pills, all y'all on drugs. This is the problem. Too much chaos because we don't have families. If men and women were together, I wouldn't even have a show. Let's keep it real. I wouldn't have been able to even create Me to Marry because there'll be no need for it. There'll be no need for Pop the Balloon. There'll be no need for none of this. There goes our girl, Mel. Shout out to.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry, can you hear me? Hold up.
We can hear you. I can hear you. Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so this is the thing. It's all love. It's all beautiful love, life, family, Black kings and queens. We get it. But this is where I'm confused. Like, I hear you often talk about from the day I met you, you talk about keeping, obviously not keeping families together, right? But family, unity, we're stronger together. So when it comes to these like certain topics of, okay, this man is asking, oh, well, I don't want to be a stepfather to your kids, whatever he said in the video, because I came in at the tail end of it. Why are we not promoting him filling in that space to have the black family? That's just where I don't understand. I feel like we talk about community. Yeah, in a perfect world, you meet somebody, you get married, or and you have a family and you keep it in the perfect way, you know, that way, right? Sorry, I'm out of breath. I had to run in here. Right, in a perfect world, but this is not a perfect world. And you talk about the Bible, and the Bible says he who is without sin cast the first stone. So yeah, she may have slept with somebody and it didn't work, and vice versa, and now there's a kid out there, and maybe another man's going to have to step in. But why are we not promoting that? Like, why are we not promoting, okay, who cares if she has a kid? Like, understand, like you said, understand what it comes with, and if you're okay with that, then move forward, right? But I feel like we demonize that and then say, oh, woman, make better choices of who we having kids with. Like, why not talk about that in the positive light of, okay, cool, she has a kid, so what? Show up, be a stepfather, make it sound like more of a positive thing. Like, you don't have to do it, but you don't have to downplay it or down talk it either, and make it seem like, oh, she's so horrible because now this other man got to come in and step in and do all this. This could be a beautiful black family. That man stepping in can totally change the whole trajectory of that child and that woman's life by coming in and being the strong black man that we know him to be.
Okay, I love that you said that. And first of all, I want to set the record straight. I never said that. I never downed the fact of a man dating a woman with a child. I said know what you're getting into and then make those choices. But
Right.
secondly, so let's get into that topic real quick. Do you remember back in the days? Was this ever a topic in the black community? Men dating women with children?
Not to my recollection.
Not to mine's either. In most cases, back in the day, right? We're talking about the 80s and 90s, even the early 2000s. It was normal for a black man to go in a household and date a woman that had multiple children and took on the family. Nowadays, let me ask you a question. When you start looking at the divorce rates, do you understand those numbers and what it looks like?
I do.
Do you understand who files the most?
The woman.
Right, at an 80% clip. So 50%, you have a 50% chance of getting divorced when you get married, and you have an 80% chance, if you're black, of getting a divorce with the woman filing first.
Okay.
Well, no matter what it is, whether it's cheating, I'm bored, I'm not happy, no matter what it is, you stand a high chance of getting a divorce in marriage nowadays. Now, I'm a marriage guy. So
Yeah.
I still believe in marriage, but I believe in choosing right, men and women. So, but unfortunately, there's consequences for both men and women on picking the wrong person. Now, if a man picks the wrong person and he chooses to deal with a woman with a child, that's unappreciative of him stepping in. Because I don't look at it as an honorable man that does that. It's just a man that does that, right?
Jesus.
An honorable man is the man that's taking care of his family, the family he created. But
What does
why
that
are we not
mean?
praising?
The family he created.
Because he should get more praise for creating his own family. But in the black community, we give the man that decided to step in and give him more praise for saying, "Well, you're a real man." Now we,
Oh
we
my
put the word
God.
we put the word "real" on it because he became a stepdad, as opposed to a man that's naturally choosing a wife, a kid in the right order, and then saying that's the family. That man don't get no praise. How many men get talked about like that?
That's just your
So
opinion. That's just your opinion. You
that's
can't
but no,
project your
that's
opinion on that.
but okay. So we can honestly say that the masses of people go through that. So my opinion or not, it is what it is. I'm a father. Also, not only am I a father, I've also dated women with children, and I can tell you that it was a thankless job for me. I can tell you that
Yeah.
the moment that woman decided she wanted to leave, what happened to me?
Mm.
What happened to the children? What happened to the bond that I grew with those kids? Did it matter? Who cares at that point? Because the mom made a choice. So it's a thankless job. It's not my opinion. It is what it is.
Your opinion. You're referencing a situation that you personally experienced, and so now you're
I'm
basing
rep-
like your energy comes from, okay, I experienced that, and so and here's how the mind works. We all know about manifestation, right? You experienced that, so now your mind is programmed to see that more so in the forefront than the other way. For me personally, I don't see that. I don't see that, and I always say that I don't see Black men who are stepping in and being these stepdads, feeling like, oh my God, this is a thankless job, and she left me, and now I can't see the kids. Like, I don't see that. So maybe again, we're coming from two different experiences.
So, because you're a woman, you won't see that. And your experience from being a woman and wanting a man to step in if you have a child is your experience. But to say that by saying that is just my experience and not there's not millions of men that's going through this right now is wild. I can literally make a broadcast on one of my busiest days, and I can guarantee you that around 90% of the men that jump in the chat in any time, I can make a poll. And I bet you that 90% of the men that when I make the poll, you might have one or two guys that's like, I'm good.
Do
So
you know
why am
why
I
though?
why
Do you know why? Because
what do you
those are the bitter men. Like this is no shade to you, but
oh
people
my
who no,
God.
I'm just being honest. Like people who have these negative experiences, it's the same thing with like Glassdoor.com or with people who leave reviews. People typically only leave reviews when they've had a bad experience. So they're looking for that type of content and those type of polls because they have experienced that. The men that I know, like I'm not saying men are perfect, but a lot of the men that I know, they don't even be on no polls, on no lines, because that's just not their energy. That's not their community. That's not their experience. I'm not saying that because
You
you're
don't
on
know what
here.
those men do though.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I'm talking about men that I know personally.
You don't know what they do on their own time. You
I don't
think
know.
you
I know. I
know
don't know
because
that.
they
No, I
tell
don't
you
know
what
that.
exactly. So let's talk from what you believe as opposed to what you actually know.
DP going crazy in the comments, ain't he?
Right. Well, no,
Okay.
and I'll take it away because it could be biased because this is my comment section. But at the same time, let's let's not look at let's look at it from into what you actually know. You don't know, so I wouldn't speak on what men do behind
But I'm
closed
not
doors,
speaking.
even
I'm not
behind
speaking on
their
what men
wives'
do.
back.
We're both
Right.
speaking.
You are,
We're
you are,
both speaking.
you are, no, you are speaking on it when you say things like the men that I know don't do certain things. You don't know that.
But you're talking about the men that you know that would come to this
I'm
poll.
not
You're
talking
talking
about
about
the
those
men that I
men.
know. I'm talking about you can literally watch TV shows. There's all types of episodes, TV shows, podcasts, this and that. It's thousands, millions of men that experience that. Now, hold up. Let's break it down to logic. You have a child.
Mhm.
You start dating a man, right? And that man decides he wants to love upon your child. He treats your daughter as that's his daughter. You break up with that man. Y'all break up. Let's say he breaks up with you, whatever. But he says, I want to still be in your child's life. You might be okay with that the first few months. But when you get a new man, guess what's gonna happen?
You want me to guess?
What's gonna happen is that men are territorial by nature. We're gonna come in the picture and we're not gonna be okay with the three men you dated before all stepping in as stepdads. And I'm here too. So the likelihood is you're gonna have to do what with that old man? He's X out. So this is logic. This is not just my opinion.
Well, it's just your opinion.
No, it's not. It's
It's your
logic.
opinion. Yes, it is. These are hypotheticals. Like these are all
Now
hypotheticals.
I'm trying to save you here.
Mm.
I'm
I
trying
don't
to
need no
save you.
saving. I don't need any saving.
You need to be
Don't put my
saved.
personal business out there. But I don't need no. I don't need no
No, not
saving.
no, not in that way. Not your personal life. I'm talking about. I'm trying to save you from not looking bad on the street. because this is
I don't
forever.
care. I truly don't care. I truly don't care.
Okay, okay,
These are just my
okay.
opinions. Like here's the thing. We're too grown. Here's the thing that some people seem to forget. We're two grown adults. We've had a lot of conversations where I may have left that conversation with a whole different ideology, as you know, than what I may typically have. That's called being an adult. I'm always open to hear someone else's side, and who knows, maybe next week I might come back here and be like, you know what he said made sense. But as of now, it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't.
Okay. I want you to watch this back, right? And I want you to think
Not
logically.
homework, not homework.
Yeah, I'm giving you homework. So I want you to watch this back and I want you to think about this logically because I don't think you're looking at it because I'm taking my feelings out of this and I'm literally put in the situation of when you start dating again, what happens? Right? And usually in most cases,
Okay.
that man, if you get another man, because I'll tell you this, and this is not just my opinion. This is almost any man that you believe men have egos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you know for a fact that men have egos and we thrive off of it, and men are very territorial, do we want another man that your ex was sleeping with? It wasn't her husband. She doesn't have a child with him. There's none of that. She just literally slept with this guy a few times. They had a 1-year relationship, whatever. You think that we want you to be still have that child that I'm now providing for in his life? You think most men would be okay with that?
So again, I can't speak to that. I've never been in that situation, so I cannot speak to that. So
I'm
I
just
don't
asking you to think
yeah,
logically. I'm not asking
yeah,
you to think don't put it in your shoes.
yeah.
I'm asking you to put it in a box and
Mhm.
stand up from the outside of that box and look
Mhm.
in.
Okay.
Knowing men, knowing women, do you think that most men would be okay with it? Not saying all, most.
Mhm. Okay with what? Sorry, I'm packing and
Step,
doing it at the same
be,
time. Sorry.
being okay coming into your life or another
Mhm.
woman's life that has a
Mhm.
child. Let's take you out of
Mhm.
it. A woman's life that has a child
Mhm.
and the ex is still providing for that child.
Mm. I don't. I'm afraid to give my honest answer. I'm just afraid to give my honest answer. Like you're saying, providing for the kids still. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that with confidence either way.
Right. Well, I'm trying to tell you, it's about how we feel as opposed to how men are on
Mm.
average. Not some men. Some men, yeah, they'll be okay with, okay, it takes a village, right?
Mhm.
You could be me, you, your baby daddy, and your
Mhm.
ex-boyfriend. All of us take care of this kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some men are like that.
Yeah.
Are most men like that? No, no.
Mm.
And I'm saying that for a fact.
Yeah.
It's not my opinion. I'm not guessing this. I don't feel as if I'm not running with feelings. I'm
Mhm.
spitting a fact. So yeah, no, no. If you want a new man, you're gonna have to get rid of your old man, and that's how men feel. So
Mhm.
being that stepdad that stepped in, how is that a benefit to him? Thinking if we do break up, which the likelihood is in the black community, we probably will break up. Probably because the numbers speak for itself. Then what would be my benefit in doing it? And that's where the question came from. Not it didn't just pop out of thin air. Like I said, it's not about promoting the breakup. I'm trying to tell the woman, get back with your daddy, get back with your man, get back with the kid, the man you had a child with. If once it's a safe situation, but get back with that man because what you're doing is creating chaos because you're asking another man to step up and for what?
And
To
see,
what?
this is the thing. I mean, and again, I hate to sound naive. I hate to sound like just the total opposite of what you're saying. But I just think about the men in my lives. I don't have a lot of women in my life in terms of like family. Like it's just mostly men in my family. And so when I think of their experiences, even when there were kids involved, and they did have to, there was another man that possibly came in, it was more so of community. It wasn't what you're speaking of. So I guess, it's just my experience. And I get that
Yeah.
that's my experience. And I'm thinking about my tiny little box over here, child, in Fort Mill. I get it. But I don't know. I don't know. I gotta put some thought behind it. You know how I am.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like I could say, go ask this same question to those same men in your life, right?
Hmm.
Go ask those questions to the same man, the same conversation. Would you date a woman and still try to and then let's say, would you date a woman that is okay that her ex is still providing for that child and you now stepped in the door? And what happens if it don't work out with you now? Are you expected to keep it? So now you got two men providing.
Well, good. Look,
Oh,
she's
and then
smart.
all of a sudden you break. So she's smart, but what is he? So if she's smart, what is he?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's about the kid. So if the kid, like black children
At the end
already
of the day,
don't.
it's you. It's
Oh
about your kid,
Lord.
not mine.
It's
Yours.
about the kid. It's about the kid in these situations. And if this kid, because we're all about community, we're all about the black family, building black families. If this kid is getting love from every which way but loose, then hey, everybody wins. Be mature about it. You know that when you get with a woman, it is a possibility that y'all might not even make it to a third date. It's a possibility that y'all might date for years and then y'all are no longer together, and she has a kid that maybe you got close to, and it's a possibility. Like anything is possible, but at the end of the day, if there's a chance that, okay, well, you know what, I gave this kid 5 good years. It is what it is. If I can't come around any longer, that's just the luck of the dice. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but it's just the dating world that it seems like y'all live in.
What if you had a son? Would you tell your son if he had two options, same type of woman? Would you
Hmm.
tell your son to go date a woman with a kid, or if he had an option to make his own, would you tell him to go make his own, or would you say it don't matter for the sense of family? What would you tell your son?
Wait, so in that situation, are you saying that the woman that has a kid can't have no more kids? Because like, why would he have to choose between make like what do you mean?
What if
If
I
both if
mean?
both if both
Would,
women could have kids, I'm gonna
would,
say
would,
go.
would, okay, go
if
ahead.
both
I'm
if
listening.
both if both women can have kids, listen, women, I've had a lot of experience, especially here lately. At the end of the day, I'm gonna say go with the woman who brings you peace. I don't care if she has a kid, because she could have no kids and be a psychopath, and now your life is ruined. So to me, it's not about, oh my god, the scarlet letter, she has a kid, oh my god, you know what I'm saying? That's not about it. Who brings you peace, who brings you longevity, and who is gonna give you something that's gonna sustain the test of time? That's what I would tell
So,
my son and my nephews.
so Mel, let's level out the playing field. Let's level out the playing field. Both man and woman, both women, both two of those women. One has
Hmm.
a child, one doesn't. They both bring him peace. Both
Hmm.
of them are good women. Both of
Here we
them are
go.
solid. Both of them would provide nurture to your son, right? Would you? But the option was a woman to create his own legacy or to pick up a legacy and possibly create a legacy with another woman and her kid and her baby daddy. What would you tell your son to do?
I'm sorry, but my answer stays the same. I'm gonna say go with who you are in love with. Go with who brings you peace. Like you can't be in love with two. Like that's not gonna happen. Like no, you're not gonna push me in that
Listen,
corner.
I'm not gonna try to change your mind. You know what I'm saying? Um, but but because I understand, like, if you think
I
the way
just
you
hate
think, and
again, I always give your respect. I talk about your podcast on damn near all my podcasts and all that kind of stuff. So I get what you're saying, but I guess for me, I don't like putting a scarlet letter on somebody's chest because, oh, they have a child and now it's like, oh my god, you better think twice, and oh my god, like, I feel like a lot of the onus is on these women, and in a lot of these situations, these women don't want to be without the father of their children, but they just turn out to be somebody who they can't be with, or it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So I just hate that conversation.
I know you hate the conversation, but it's a conversation that men have to think about. Because yeah, when I'm dating you, I'm not only dating you, I'm dating your child, I'm dating your baby daddy. All of us are
Hmm.
in a triplex at this point.
Yeah.
So I'm dating everything about you, whoever you
Right.
are, as opposed
Right.
to a woman. I don't have to deal with another man if
Right.
she don't have a kid. So why would I tell my kid to do that? Now, if my kid makes that choice to do that, I would guide him through it. But it is
Hmm.
something that it's fair to say your son should think about.
Absolutely.
To sit there and say he shouldn't be cautious because he has to deal with multiple people as opposed to one is disingenuous.
Absolutely, and I didn't say that. What I'm saying is, it's more to a person than their past, or if they have a child.
I'm not
That's
saying it's not.
right, right. And I'm not saying that. Oh my God, yeah, I'm not saying whatever you just said. What I'm simply saying is that the person, who is the person? Like, stop putting so much focus on this person has a child, but who is this person, and how's this person going to bring you peace in an everyday situation? And that's just kind of where it stops for me.
No
Because
one's
that's
bringing no
that's
one
lit.
peace.
Oh my
Let's keep it. Let's
God.
keep. Let's keep.
Dion
Let's keep
bringing
it a
you
buck.
peace. Dion is bringing you
Hell
peace.
no.
Yes,
Hell
he
no.
is.
Listen. We are married. We've been married for 9 years. I've been with her for 15. Do you think it's been peaceful the whole ride?
Absolutely
Shit.
not.
So we keep pushing this. Oh, we got to bring peace. It's foolery. There's no such thing. It's who we
No
choose to
such
deal with.
thing.
No,
You
no,
are you
because
both
the
both you
moment
and your wife.
because when you prioritize peace, when you prioritize happiness in your marriage, what ends up happening is the moment you don't feel happy, you tend to leave, which is why the divorce rate is so high, because all of us want to feel peace and happiness and not struggle in what you have to go to be with somebody that's different than you.
One word that I said and you're running with it. I'm not saying, oh, she bring me peace, so let me just throw everything else out in the trash receptacle in that box we love to talk about. I'm not saying that. What I'm simply saying
In
is
the
that
box.
like a person is a lot of things. They come with a lot of stuff. They could come with a child, they could not come with a child. They could come with whatever they come with. You got to look at the person and what's going to bring you a long lasting relationship. And no, it's not going to be rainbows and sunshine, but at the end of the day, you and your wife make a active, um you guys intentionally show up every day, even when the shit don't look sorry even when it don't look good, even when stuff don't feel good. You guys are intentional about showing up for your marriage, period, point blank, even when it don't
That's
feel
true.
good.
That's true, but I only dug into that word peace a little bit because that's something that people prioritize. I need to feel happy. Whoever brings
Yeah.
my it's just the talking point that all of y'all
it
spit. But then
yeah.
and I said, yeah, I'll put you in that box too. But what- it's something that all of y'all spit. But then all of turn around and leave your marriages left and right the moment you don't feel happy.
Let me
Because
explain
not all
something.
divorces is because of that, huh?
So I'm gonna explain something to you. When it comes to peace and happiness, I know firsthand that that is not all that it takes, because you can be with somebody and it's happy and it's fun, but at the end of the day, like you said, when it's time to get to business and it's time to be in a home and it's time to have someone leading and providing and protecting and doing what they should do, and if they're not doing that, I'm speaking hypothetically, at the end of the day, like that fun will dwindle away. So I truly know that it takes more than just peace, happiness, or whatever to keep two people together for 9, 10, 15, 20 years. That fun, that peace, I 100% agree. People get so, and shit, I did it. They get so engulfed in, oh shit, this fun. And now everything else got go out the window. That's why I keep saying it's not just about peace. It's not just about one thing. It's about everything in the fruit bowl. Everything. And that's where people have to be intentional. People love these cliche words. Be intentional about who you're choosing. Use your intuition. Men have intuition too. Use your intuition. Don't think with your PPs or your vaginas or whatever you want to say. Like, don't think with that. Think with
Right,
intention. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
like it's a lot that goes into it.
Then there's absolutely nothing wrong with telling a young man to choose something that looks more peaceful as opposed to something that might not be, right? Meaning
It might
that
not be
if you
on
have
either hands. Oh my
right,
God.
no, here's what I'm saying. We're not talking. We know that some men are not peaceful as well. We know that. We're not
Well, I
talking
mean, yeah,
about that.
yeah. Well, no, I meant
This is
with
a
women
spe-
with children or
this is
not.
a
Yeah.
this is a specific topic. We're even dating a man with a child. Ladies, y'all need to think about that too, because you
Yeah.
could be dealing with baby mama drama. You could get rocked up by the baby mama. So
Mm.
we know that those are all possibilities that we all need to weigh
Yeah.
out. But when you
Absolutely.
start breaking it down to a man, let's not act like a man doesn't bear the brunt of that responsibility walking into a family as opposed to creating his own family. So all I say is be cautious. Now, when it comes down to a man, right?
I mean, go. I'm
When it comes
sorry.
down to
I'm sorry, I have to
Mhm.
say something. You keep saying create his own family. I guess just that I don't like how that sounds, but he can create his own family with his stepchild or his bonus child and his new wife. Like, you're not out here like, oh my God, I can't create my own family because you have a child. Like, you, man, you go in there. If that's a woman that you want, then you create a family where you feel like your family is, meaning if that woman and her child is your family, then there you have a family. You keep saying that, like, I can't create my own family. You can create your own family. Some men can't
That,
even have kids.
that's
Some
a
women can't even have kids. It's very much
that
across the
that
board.
that 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 still is not. You basically you're kind of moving the goalposts a little bit, because
Oh,
when we talk about this, right? We talk about your own, meaning that it's you walk into a situation. Let's say you walk into my house right now. What's the first thing you're
mhm,
going to see? You're going to see me, my wife, and my kid. If I walk into a single woman's house, what's the first thing I'm? So you walked into a house and there's already a family there, right? Now let's say we decided we wanted to. What's those people? Be a polygamous family. Then you're
mhm,
now walking into that, right? As
mhm.
opposed to walking into a woman that's singles house with no kids. You're not walking into a family. So if you have a child with her, you're starting it fresh, your own family. It's going to be yours. You're not walking into nothing. There's no extra man. There's none of that. It's just you, her, and then your kid with her. That's what I mean by that. There's already, when you choose to have children with other men, you create a family, believe it or not. If you have two baby daddies, then guess what? Even men do the same thing. Men that's out there having multiple children with multiple women. You're creating multiple families, and you, the man, are a part of multiple families. It's the same thing with women. But it makes more sense when I said it to men to you, I'm sure. But when it comes down to a woman, you don't want to hear that. But in reality,
I didn't
that's
say
what it
that.
is. Yeah, you don't have to say it. I know you now.
No, I didn't say that.
but but that's what I'm saying. It's one something that's already made as opposed to something that you are creating from scratch. If you're a builder, you build it from the foundation up. If I'm looking at a house that's already built, I can't turn around and make little changes in the fixtures and change the light bulb and say I built this house. I can't do that. It
Yeah,
was
I
built
guess
before I
it's
got there.
tomatoes, tomatoes. So I hear what you're saying. From scratch versus with a little bit of sprinkles already in there. I just, the language is just what I'm not. I don't like the language because it
All
has a
right,
negative connotation behind it. That's just, you know.
all right.
And I'm just thinking about the women. Like I don't want any woman to feel like to hear this and feel like, oh my God, I'll never find a man, or oh my God, oh my God, I'm horrible. Not I know you're not saying that, but I'm just speaking to women who may be out here dating and they are maybe having a hard time, or maybe they will be out here dating. I just don't want nobody to think that they're damaged goods because they have a child with someone.
No, I don't want women to feel that way either. But I always would say the market would tell you exactly what they want, right? So if the men are choosing you, then fine, cool. If men a majority are dealing with choosing women with children as we did in the 80s and the 90s, then yeah, you're good. You have a great chance. But if most men today are not, then what are we doing? So wouldn't you now tell women, hey, if you have a child at 25 and then you turn 35 and you decide you picked Pookie to have a child with, because yeah, you could just do whatever, right? Now you could just go get yourself a man off the man tree. So when you now are 35 and that man tree has not grown and bared any fruit for you, guess what? It's not beneficial. So this is why I'm trying to do preventative measures by telling women, have it with your husband.
I agree.
Don't make the mistake of having it with anybody, because we all know divorce happens, but you still stand a better chance of making it work when it's with your husband as opposed to anyone. Because here we are having this conversation of what your kid bring to my benefit to my table. This wouldn't happen if we had more husbands and wives.
I agree, but
That's
I
what I
also
and that's what I started the conversation with.
I agree, but see, you're kind of going back to what I said 2 minutes ago. It's like either you had a child with your husband or you had it with Pookie. Like sometimes it's not Pookie. Sometimes it's, who's somebody, Carlton Banks, or I'm trying to think of somebody like LeBron James, but inside he Pookie. And you know what I'm saying? You don't know it. And I get it, discern better, but it's not just always only husband or Pookie. You know what I'm saying? Like again,
It's
it's levels
always
to
husband
that.
or Pookie because Pookie could look like Carlton Banks. Pookie could be a millionaire as well. But just because you rich don't make you not a Pookie.
Well, that's true.
So
Trigger.
you know if how a man moves, how he acts, how he treats people, all of that. If he's not marrying you and you gave him a baby, yeah, there we are. He's a Pookie. Because he didn't think about protecting his seed before he dropped one in a woman that's not committed to him. So, all right, I don't want to beat up on this topic. Let's do it. You want to do the pop the balloon with me real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's do the pop the balloon. Let's do the pop. I got Mel with me and her crazy behind for pop. Oh, I love it.
So
Let's
scary.
get active, y'all. Let's get into it.
Hello, welcome in. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Ashley.
Ashley, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Okay, and what do you do?
I'm an actress, and I also work in the education department of a theater, and I teach kids musical theater.
Okay, that's fun. What are some things you like to do for fun?
I love to do karaoke.
What you think about her? Oh, that's a bad pause. Yo, my bad. What you think about her though?
Why is she
So
dressed like
far, how's she
that?
look?
I don't care for the outfit, but I mean, I think she's a attractive lady.
Okay. She got the Disney princess gloves on, but let's
Yeah,
go.
that's what I'm saying. That's weird.
I like to hang out with my friends and my family and also travel. I've also gotten into pageantry lately, so that's something fun and new.
Okay. And what do you look for in a man?
I'm looking for somebody that's really kind-hearted and somebody who has emotional intelligence as well as emotional availability, and someone who's just like wanting to do things with their life.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And
So let me ask you a question, Mel. Pop the balloon. Do you like this style of dating show? Do you think like it's genuine? How do you feel about it?
You know, it's so funny you asked that because I have this on my list of topics to talk about. One thing that I find is that it's really confusing as to what makes a woman or a man, but I'm gonna talk to the women, what makes them pop their balloons when it comes to a man. There was a recent one, I don't know if it was recent or old, and this great guy, I guess he might have appeared to be kind of nerdy, tall guy, fairly
Yeah, I saw
attractive.
that.
Yeah. And everybody, well, not everybody, but like these girls was popping the balloons because he wasn't like a thug or wasn't this and that and the third. It just, for me, to answer your question, this show shows me how horrible we can be at picking at picking people in a nutshell.
Okay. But they'll pick the guy with the tats and the, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? All
They're
right.
not
What did we
picking, they're
talk?
not picking
So what
for
did
like
we
long.
what did we talk about a little while ago?
Oh God. I'm the one that
Gotcha.
said, I'm the one that said no. I'm the one that said date with intention. Use your intuition.
Yeah, but you also were the one that
Oh.
said, when I said that they need to choose better, you were the one to say, how now? Why don't the man just need to be better? What you talking about? You got mad ghetto
First of
on me,
all, I
son.
don't talk like that, child. I don't talk like that. So I'm the bougie one that Charles is talking about. I don't talk like that.
That is true. That is true. All right, let's keep going.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, got it. No problem. Let's go over here. Your name and age.
I'm Jerron. I'm 27.
And Jerron, why did you end up popping
Well,
your balloon?
hold up. In all fairness, though, Mel, men
Yeah.
pick women basically solely off their looks. There's plenty of times that I watched this show and the woman had no morals. I look at it like, why didn't all the guys pop the balloon the moment she started talking?
Yeah.
But because she was bad, there's always the last standing guy there holding on to his balloon for dear life, praying to God that he has his opportunity to, get the box.
Yeah, get the receptacle. But in the comments, I'm sorry. I think DP he made a very good point. He said that these shows are picking people based on the wrong thing, and I think that's the piece that I'm talking about. Like there should be a little bit more information gathered, especially on someone. Oh, he looks nerdy, or he had on church shoes, or whatever they say. Even with think about your show, right? Think about Keon. Look at how people judge him because of that one bad choice in outfits, and he's a good black man looking for a wife. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it just shows that we don't have the best pickers.
Right. Yo, hold on. I just caught that too, where April said that he said she's dressed like the Duchess of NYCHA. Do you know
Oh
what
my
NYCHA
god,
is?
no.
So NYCHA is the New York City Housing Authority, basically the
Oh my
projects.
god. That's awful.
Yo, stupid. All right,
Jesus.
child, let's keep going.
I smoke a little bit. I just
Get her out of here, child. That is so. And this just confirms. Look. You didn't pick somebody based on his height being too tall. That's stupid. That is so dumb.
But if he was too short, it'll be a problem as well, right?
No, it would not. No, it would not. It would not. Someone's
Oh,
height
wait,
now.
what?
Grant. No, it would not. Like now, if he was a now, I don't want to call nobody out, but like that guy on your show, that's very very short. That's different. You know, someone who's
He,
born.
he's
Born.
he's watching right now. What up,
Oh,
Lo?
well, I'm just saying there's nothing wrong with him. I think he's a great guy, but I could see how, even women on that episode, they were concerned about his height. And I'm sure that's something that he has dealt with. I'm a tall girl, so at the end of the day, I prefer, it just, you kind of date sometimes looking at those things based on just your aesthetic. So that's a stretch, but just being short, like, oh, I'm 5'11" or five, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm just 6 feet. People feel like that's short. And I just think that that's not short at all. So no, I don't think. Now, ask me 5 years ago, I would have had a different answer. Okay. But
Right.
now
But
I don't.
So, all right, we're talking about you as opposed to majority of women. Majority
Mhm.
of women would date a man because he's taller, right?
Oh, yeah, for
That's
sure.
and that's not my opinion. That's like a fact.
That's for
so,
sure.
right. So, the fact. So, but a guy could be 5'9", which is the average height of an American man, and
Here we go.
some women
Why
would call
do all
him.
your statistics be like in your favor? That's crazy.
What do you mean? What does that even mean?
Not
I
that
don't
you're
know what you mean.
5'9". Well, obviously you're not 5'9", but I just feel like I don't know.
I'm 6'1". I'm not 5'9".
I know that. I know that.
So the 5'9" guy don't get no burn no more. Back in the day, he used to get burned. Now,
What
for
does that
some
mean,
reason,
burn?
meaning that women don't want to talk to him.
Oh,
He's too short.
got it.
Because I believe that a lot of people look at the internet and feel as if
Yeah.
your man needs to tower over you now, not
Yeah.
just be at least your height or
Yeah.
you even heard it on my show. If I wore heels, I'll be taller.
Yeah, and I was a queen of that. Like I always wear heels, and my ex-husband is like he's 5'11", and that was one of the reasons why I was like, man, I don't know if I can do this because
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Hold on, yo. Here goes Lo. Lo is in the chat.
Oh no. Hey, Lo, I think you're a great person. I think you deserve love, man, for sure. I think you're a great person.
Lo says I can't relate.
But I did tell you either on the show or after the show, I told you, I said I feel like those girls would regret not choosing him because I think he's a really good guy. I think he's a really good guy that seems to want marriage. So I feel like you can't. Well, you can be, but being single and desire, especially if you don't have no kids, as a single woman, you desire a husband, a life partner, someone that you're gonna be with and protect you. Now, I hope they can protect you if they're short like that. But at the end of the day,
a shorter guy can still protect you. He's still a man at the end of the day.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's keep on. My boy watching us, man. He said I just be chilling. My boy Lo.
Aw.
What up, man? All right. She's saying "aw." You're making it worse, Mel. All right.
No, I love him.
Let's keep going. Hold on.
Question.
Daniel 26.
I think it's his forehead to his hair, like it. So like the way, I think it's that. It just kind of makes him look weird.
And a social cause that I would say I'm passionate about is education, specifically for Black males, because I am a Black male. So just exposure to education and then actually using that as an outlet to reach out, connect with people, and develop a career. So I'm currently a student, so I understand the importance of education. So I would say I'm passionate about that one.
Okay, great. Your name and age and the answer to her question.
My name is Arthur, 27. I would say the same as far as education, because obviously I'm a school resource officer as well. So I'm very passionate with my kids in the school. So that's it.
Sounds good. Name and age and answer to her question.
I'm Tevin, 28. We got to stop the violence, y'all. Like the Black on Black violence, gun violence. The rap music is great, but we just got to stop killing each other, please. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay, nice.
Okay.
Let's head on
The
back.
fact that she didn't
and let's
pop
kind
his
of
balloon
throw
is
your question
crazy.
back at you.
Okay.
Why you say that?
Are you kidding? He doesn't look like that he even likes women.
What?
Listen.
What? I need to see, because I didn't watch this whole thing. I need to see more. I didn't get that, but hey, listen, maybe you saw something I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm very passionate about disability advocacy. I have a brother that has epilepsy, so that's something that's really on my heart. I also volunteer at a Cook Children's. It's a children's hospital, so I love to take after people that are sick and that have disabilities as well, and immigration, women's rights, and I'm very passionate about my Black people and making sure they are safe in the community. So yeah.
Okay. Boring.
So I am now going to have you pop
Mad boring.
one balloon. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and pop that balloon.
What?
Okay.
A weirdo. Oh. Told you.
Okay.
See, I ain't even seen this.
So why did you have your balloon unpopped?
She fine. The sleeves were throwing me off, but I looked past them.
They match my earrings.
Okay, I just never
That's
seen
so
it before.
dumb.
It's
It's
different.
so
I had to get
stupid.
used to it. But
It's
yeah, she
dumb.
fine.
Okay, it's giving like Bridgerton vibes.
Oh,
yes.
Fine is a stretch.
Okay.
And why'd you end up popping his balloon?
I love your answer. However, I would say that initially you are not my type.
Wait,
Yes.
Mingo, I'm
That's
curious
cool.
on these men in the comments who are saying, like, I'm just very curious. Like this guy just said, "Oh, I like her." Like, what are they looking at when they see her? I'm just out of curiosity.
Well, I think he may have just liked the answer because he wrote that when the answer she said. But I mean, most guys would see her body and be like, "Dude,
Really?
really?
Huh.
Yeah, she's small. She's small frame. Her. Okay, this is a family show. This is a family show.
Mm.
Yep, there we go. Hips, little
Oh.
waist. Yeah, that matters.
Okay. Wow.
That matters.
That is so
Big time.
interesting.
Huh?
I said that's very interesting. It's interesting. Okay.
See, and basically her response. So he said a passionate response about
Yeah.
our community. Yes, body helps. And he put that in caps.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
This is how I know I'm getting old
So-
because she has a very little girl body. So I just thought that was interesting. Wow.
Lil, what are you talking about? Look,
Yes, thank you, Wall Street. Like,
No.
what's going on? Her body is just straight up and down, child. That's crazy.
you see, and what
Like-
you said was just hurtful.
Who?
You. You. Basically, what that was you put it as predatory, right? Like,
No,
like men
whoa, no, I didn't say that. I just said her body. I did not say that. Now, don't put that on me, especially in this climate with Shannon Sharp. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
when
I
you
didn't
say
that.
things like when you compare it her body, because this is a grown woman, when you compare her body to a little girl, yeah, it comes across like, what do y'all like? Like you hear that all the time where men be like, yo, they love Asian women. And then a
Mm.
lot of women's pushback to them is like, oh, you like little boys because their bodies
Oh
is,
wow, that's
you know what I'm
awful.
saying? It's crazy. But
Nah,
I mean,
yeah, I wasn't thinking like
I'm not
that.
saying that you say that, but
I wasn't thinking like that.
hey,
I guess it just shows that I'm getting older and I need to just go ahead and get some Ozempic myself, which I'm about to do. But that's crazy.
you don't need no Ozempic. Go to the gym. Jeez.
I go to the gym.
So you don't
First of
need
all,
Ozempic.
so you saying that? Let me stop. Because you and your wife with those shady digs are crazy. Go to the gym is scary.
No, I'm not saying you need to go to the gym. I'm saying don't use Ozempic. I think you can naturally, because first of all, Mel, you are not big. Like, I don't know what you're doing.
I'm not big, but this ain't about me. But I'm just my stress level has been a little bit heightened lately. So
I understand that. Yeah.
but
Go
just
to
give
the
me a
gym
month,
and
child.
you know what you probably need? You know they got this gym out here in Charlotte called Rumble. It's like a boxing gym.
Nah, I'm gonna do Ozempic for a good month and get back to where I used to be, and then I'll be good. But anyway, on with the show.
On with the show. On with the show.
Husband and a wife.
I believe the husband is a provider, protector. I believe the woman is a nurturer and caring.
Okay. What about over here?
Daniel, 26. I believe I'm
Oh,
very
you
traditional.
close to me, man.
Growing up, I was fortunate to grow up in a two-parent household, so I got to see what marriage looked like. So I think that helped me understand. For me, I think a husband is the provider, of course, the protector, and he supports his woman in everything that she does. I think a woman is the nurturer, and it balances each other out. I think that a woman can also be leading in some other ways when it comes to organization and different
You know
things.
what I
I
hear?
think a husband fully supports a woman
What do you
in
hear?
everything that she
when I
decides to do.
when I hear this nowadays, I feel like these are just cliche things that people hear everybody saying, and I don't know, like provider, protector, a woman should be nurturing. I just wonder what people truly mean by that. I feel like everybody gives that same cookie cutter answer as I don't know.
I think men know. I think men that say it, I don't know about women because I think y'all confused. But I think men that say it though, I think they know what they want. I think they know what they're talking about because naturally you heard it your whole life. It's not just something you hear on the internet. Men were, if you have a father in your household as a man, you're taught to do what for your wife? Provide for your family. If something were to happen, you lay down your life for your wife. So I think men understand that. I think women would say they want a provider or protector, but then the moment a man tells you don't wear that skirt, it's too short, you'd be like, don't tell me what to do. So now you're controlling, other than me trying to protect.
Yeah,
Right?
controlling, or people. A lot of people have trauma, and they just they need to be healed before they even connect themselves with anybody. Honestly.
I agree. Let's keep going.
Okay.
And what about over here?
I would say the roles of both the husband and wife are about creating structure.
Yes.
Okay. In what way?
Like, what does it mean to be a nurturer to you?
For me to be a nurturer to somebody?
For me to be a nurturer, since you believe that a wife is the nurturing person.
I think a nurturer is somebody who does what they can do in their capacity to make sure that not just the household, but your spouse is taken care of in each endeavor. And I also believe that a nurturer is someone who doesn't just look out for themselves, but also looks out for the community and their family.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have anything specific to ask him, or what? You want to add something,
I
or
mean, just if you want to add on to that.
Add on to just the tradition
yes.
of marriage.
I don't like her.
So a husband being the
Either.
leader is paying the bills, and the provider, he's paying the bills. Everything has context. So if we're talking a family, then a nurturer for a mother would be, making sure that the kids are,
I don't want her
going
for
to
none of them
school
men.
or cooking dinner.
No,
or
neither.
because again, I'm traditional, but not to say that those roles are specific.
I think the men are too good for her.
And I agree. I don't. It's something about her energy
Made
that
for her, but
Yeah, it's off. It's an attitude that's nasty. I see it.
entitled.
That's what specifically for most of the time pertain to her. But in a marriage with a family, I would say that the nurture for a mom would be to make sure that her husband feels wanted, making sure that she or he is feeling like the leader by just giving words of affirmation. And yeah, that's what I got.
Okay.
Alrighty. Thank you.
And over here.
All right. Same question.
Yeah. Pizzazz.
I'm gonna say I don't have nothing else to add to it. I feel like if I do, I'm gonna just say everything everybody else is saying. So
Okay. That's all right.
All right.
You don't have to.
Okay. I am now going to have you pop a balloon.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. Go ahead.
Thank you.
That should be interesting.
Damn.
All right.
She's
So
doing
that
it
was
like
your balloon
that,
unpopped.
Lord.
Right.
So I
Right.
appreciated everything that she said that she was looking for in a man. So
Something wrong.
I
Something
think
wrong.
that there was no specific reason
What up?
for me to pop. So I wanted to just continue to hear everything, answer a couple questions, get a little warm, and yeah, that's why I kept it on pop.
Okay. And so why did you end up
Look at
popping
that
his
nervous
balloon?
dude. Can you pause it? Look at that nervous dude.
I
What is he
don't
looking
like
at?
the word traditionalism when it comes to marriage.
He's not even moving. He is nervous. Oh my god.
His face looks mad, like he's just
He
mad.
right.
But you look at the dude next to him when she said, "I don't like traditionalism." The word traditionalism. Look how he looking at her.
Oh my god. They like, listen, give me another contestant.
Yeah, like yo, this woman is confused. But let's keep
The
going.
glove said it all.
Marriage.
Yeah.
I don't mind some things that are traditional. However, I have some beef when it comes to you want wife to like do the children bearing or children
What?
rear.
Hold on.
Who else gonna bear the children, child? That is so dumb.
Let's go back to that real quick.
I have some beef when it comes to you want wife to like do the children bearing or children rearing. I think there needs to be
Who else could rear the children?
Right. Who can
Men
bear the
can't
children?
rear.
That's crazy.
You see, it's confused. It's the princess effect right here. It's those
Yeah.
gloves. Princess
Yeah.
Tiana.
She's delusional.
equal support when it comes to all of that and cooking and cleaning, and it shouldn't just fully fall on the wife. I would like some equal support there. That may not be like all what you were thinking. However, when you say
So Mel, let me ask you a question. What she's saying right now is to me, it doesn't really make sense. And let me see why I say that, because we all know there's times where I gotta cook, right?
Yeah.
There's times where I clean up after myself. I wash the dishes. I do all of that good stuff, right? But I don't do it for the most part because I don't expect my wife to pay the most of the bills either. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if the expectation, if you say you want some traditional things, but not some, then it's confusing because it's either, in most cases, it's either you're traditional or you're not. It's this newfound, I want a balance. Does it make sense? But the balance could go where, okay, well, guess what? The mortgage is $2,000 a month. You pay $1,000, I pay $1,000.
Yeah.
I wash the dishes today, you wash the dishes tomorrow.
Yeah.
I pay the car note today, you pay the car note next month.
I think my advice to men or like my brothers or like my nephews or whatever would be if this is my opinion, but if a woman is triggered or has a lot of energy when she hears the word traditional, then that should be a red flag. That's just my opinion. Like that's just my opinion. And I think that it should warrant more conversation. I feel like in more times than not, you're going to get the response that she just gave. And I feel like if you hear that response, depending on what you agree with and what you don't, you might want to run. You might want to run.
I agree with you on that because I personally would say that my household is more ran traditional than not.
Yeah.
Because in every way, I'm the sole provider that takes care of everything.
Yeah.
And in every way, my wife, she is the one that nurtures our family, does the cooking, cleaning, all of that good stuff to make sure the house, like I come home to a clean house every day. Come home to food. My wife be like, your food's in the microwave. Sometimes it's on the table when I walk in the door.
But can
Those
I
are the
please
type of
speak to
things.
that? I
Yeah.
got this video that I feel like needs all the love in the world that it could get on my channel. And one thing that I will say is that so here's the thing, it's not just about financial. I'm sure your wife
Facts.
isn't in there cooking and making sure your plate is in the microwave or whatever just because you paying the majority of the bills. It's a whole lot more that comes with a man, saying that he's a provider, and then a woman, I always say this, being in her feminine energy, her femininity in that space, and then having that strong desire to be that for her man, i.e. your wife. Okay, I'm gonna make sure the house is clean when you get here because he deserve it. I'm gonna make sure the food is in the microwave because he deserve it. I'm gonna make sure that I'm doing everything I can to be that feminine, nurturing energy in the home because he deserves it. And that's very important. Because I don't want men
And
just to
then,
think, in my opinion, that, oh,
right.
I pay the majority of the bill, so bitch, I'm sorry, not
Yeah.
bitch, but
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying.
This time, and there's times where I might not be my full self, and I might not deserve it because I might have
Hmm.
not treated her right at a moment, and she
Hmm.
still be that. She's still that wife to me, no matter what.
Yeah, and
Right.
vice versa, I'm sure. Yeah.
Right. Of course. So yeah, you're right. You are right. We agreed on one thing today, Mel.
Just one.
Just one.
Traditional, that is immediately just everything that comes into my mind.
I 100% agree. I'll articulate that better next time.
Okay.
No.
You didn't want to argue with her.
Right.
All
Look
right,
at his
we've
face.
got
Look at his.
two guys left. Guys,
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, I'm not doing this with you today."
Right. Right.
Not on pop. Not on because he'll get toe up in the comments if he even challenged
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. If she end up picking that dude in the grade, like, she gonna be the husband and he gonna be the wife.
Oh damn.
Energy wise.
He gonna be. I don't think so, man. He just has a weird look. I don't know. It's his look. His forehead, his eye ratio is kind of off. I don't know.
Why he's so nervous
Something
though? That's
about
kind of
it.
crazy. Like, he's so nervous.
Yo, think about my show though. You remember my
Oh
last
Lord,
episode?
yeah, that was sad. That was sad.
Yo,
Jesus.
when the cameras is on and the
Yeah.
lights is on, people don't.
Hmm.
They get nervous. They get nervous.
Yeah. That's sad.
I get it.
is any questions for our girl? Oh, he's ready. Okay. Let's hear it.
Just where do you live?
I live in Texas.
Okay.
Where do you live?
I live in Florida, Orlando.
Okay.
Do you mind long distance?
I don't mind long distance. However, when it comes to long distance, I think there needs to be a timeline of when people would be wanting to like move to wherever. And I don't see myself ever wanting to go to Florida.
Pop.
I like him. He's cute.
Okay. What's wrong with
Yeah, no
Florida?
business.
I don't know. I've never been there. And
That's so dumb.
I,
She's stupid.
I don't function well in the heat.
Oh my
I-
God.
Texas.
She gonna be single with her cat.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know. And I don't function well in Texas.
Yo, Texas is mad hot, yo. And it's
Yeah.
humid, just like Florida. Talking about you don't want to go to Florida
All
because you
of
don't
her
function well in the heat.
reasonings, yeah, all her reasonings are dumb to me. Like, I feel like she ain't saying nothing that I can respect yet.
That's what we call the princess effect.
Mm.
She's just talking just to talk because
So
she has a
stupid.
mouth.
And it's like, are you? I mean, and
Crazy.
again, I don't know their ages, but to me, and maybe because I'm older, it's like the goal is marriage. So if that man right there was your husband and could have provided you with the life you desire, you gonna pop his balloon because y'all like a state away? That's crazy.
It's wild. It's wild. Because it's too hot. And you live in a hot state.
Right.
Ain't like she said she live in Chicago. I could get that. Like, come on.
Yeah. She's stupid.
Crazy. Real stupid.
In Texas.
Okay.
So yes, I used to live in Chicago for a while, and then I recently moved back to Texas. So I was like, oh, I'm melting.
Okay.
But yes.
Gotcha. I appreciate you.
Oh my God.
So why'd you have your balloon unpopped for quite some time?
She's a good looking lady. Everything was going good. So other than location.
They keep zooming in on them.
Okay. Now, is he someone that's your type?
I would say you're in between not my type and my type.
What?
Okay.
Damn.
Why?
This
What
girl
is
is
her type?
confused.
He's the best
That's
looking
what I
guy.
want to know.
Wow.
I don't know. But I think the guy with the tattoos is her type. The one that most he got tats on his neck, on his arms, all of that stuff. Remember when she asked her, she was like, "Is he your type?" She said, "Yeah."
Oh yeah, damn.
So she likes the rough looking type of guy. You know what I'm saying? The guy that look like
Jesus.
he'll bang a head between the washer and dryer.
Oh,
But
now listen, balance. Now I wouldn't mind having a little bit of both. you can give me both.
oh man. All right, Mel. That woman would have been a whole wife. And she's arguably so. She's a pretty girl, right? She would have been a whole wife, but what's holding her back is that mindset she had. It's crazy.
Yeah. What are these people? Do you know?
I think that lineup was in their 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
If I'm right.
Yeah, that doesn't.
If I remember.
I'm extremely confused by that. Like I didn't leave that episode understanding what she wants. Again, I feel like she might want a woman. Like honestly, I don't think she want no man. She don't want no man.
You don't want no man?
She don't want no man. Nah. Oh, you too tall. Oh, your statue is just too manly. So what do you want? What do you want?
Right. Yeah, so and he said right here, he's like she doesn't like him. Do any of them have tattoos on their neck? Yeah. The guy that did have the tattoos on his neck and his arms, that's who she said she liked, but he smoked weed though. So that's why he popped his own balloon. But if he didn't, she would have been the only one. So she had her eyes on him, but she was crazy.
Yeah,
She wants a guy.
She's crazy. That's the key word. She's crazy.
Yeah, she's wild. She's wild. and that's what would make her kind of live in that. To me, you hear that delusional land that she's in.
Yeah.
Like nothing she said made sense. You're too tall. You're too this. You're like, yo, come on, man.
Jesus.
Like, so it's like it has to be a perfect, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
resemblance of a man. You have a lineup of almost 10 men and not one.
Right. And that's why even on Meet to Marry, I feel like, I want them to pick somebody because at the end of the day, I don't think on these type of shows you have enough to make that strong of a no to everybody. Like if you're really out here looking for love intentionally, I just don't feel like you could just say no to everybody, especially for these lame excuses.
I agree.
Mhm.
You have a whole lineup of people, and
Yeah.
you're not because it's not like you say you're gonna get married right away, right?
Yeah.
But we go on a date. All right, you look attractive. You got some good answers. By the way, yo, Mel, when you see this episode tomorrow, you're actually, you know what? I have the link for it. I'm gonna send it to you. When you see that,
with the
you're
short
gonna
guy?
be. Which
I
one?
was there, wasn't I? Well, I thought I was there. Wasn't I
Yeah,
there?
the one we shot on the rooftop. But I'm saying when you see it, it's like it's put together, edited now. It's done.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yo, the episode looks amazing. It looks amazing.
It looked amazing even in shooting. Like I feel like that should always be the go-to. Like that, it looked amazing just being there. I loved it. I love the vibe of being on that roof outside. It was really good.
It
The
was
light was
good.
good. The lighting was good. The vibe was good. Man, like your
That's what. Hold up! Don't say nothing. Stop. Me and you are gonna talk in a minute. Stay on the live. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna.
That is so scary.
Yo.
Oh Lord.
Oh man. Yo, blockchain, what up, man? What up? You working right now? Yo, listen, I gotta hit you up, my guy. We gotta talk because we're filming the reunion on May 10th. We're filming the reunion. So blockchain, I want you to come out here for that, man. So let me know. And thank you, man. Yeah, we put a lot into like making sure the quality is good. The guy who does our filmography, the two guys that do the filmography, and we have an audio engineer as well. They're amazing, man. Like my team is really strong. So I appreciate you noticing that. Yeah. And also Mel, we got Mel now. So Mel is a good eye. She watches everything. Right, Mel? Huh? Crazy Mel. We got
So
Mel with
scary.
us. That's scary. So,
Mm.
all right, y'all. I'm gonna end the show here. Do me a favor, y'all, and make sure you guys that if you are a channel member, remember you have an opportunity to win these what do they call these again? The AirPods Max Pro. All you got to do is hashtag me to Mary and just repost the content on your IG. I'll do it like this. If you're a channel member and you do it 3 times, that's it. The first person that goes on their IG and reposts me to Mary 3 times, hashtag, and tag me into it as well. And you got to be a channel member. I'll ship these out to you wherever you are. Just become a channel member and I got you. All right, y'all, don't miss out on those headphones. Promise I got you. All right, Mel, stay right there. We got to talk.
Yeah, that is so
So-
scary. I'm not admitting to anything.
Man.
Just I'm not admitting to anything.
You're not admitting to anything?
Mm-mm.
All right, I heard your live stream. I was like,
So
man, you got to talk.
scary. Jesus.
But y'all, I love my chat. I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Be ready for Meet to Marry. The final finale is tomorrow for season 2. You do not want to miss it. So stay tuned, and I will see y'all the next one. Peace. All right, hold up. I gotta add it to the stage now.